Hi, my name is Joyce Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so this weekend, live on BT Sport, box office pay-per-view at a price of 20 quid will be Joyce versus Joseph Parker. And in my opinion, it is a 50-50 fight. It is, and I'm going to explain why as this video goes along. Now, I've just watched the press conference for this particular fight. Yeah, of course, it can be quite cringy at times. I think that Parker, he comes across as the more confident. He seems so relaxed, so sure of himself. Joyce, it's very difficult to tell with Joyce how he is or how he's feeling. He's got the same monotone right the way through. He does. He doesn't like to sit there doing the talk in the press conferences and things like that. It's not that he's not an intelligent guy or anything like that. He just doesn't really care about the talk in the press conferences. He just doesn't care about that. He'd rather just get in the ring and have a fight. Okay? Dev Sani, that guy irritates me. I would love nothing more than to grab his little head and twist it straight off his shoulders. I don't like that guy. I don't like him. He's irritating, little cocksucker. But that said, the fight itself, we know how the fight's going to go. As much as it's a 50-50 fight, we know exactly how this fight's going to play out. It's going to be Joyce coming forward, big jab, throwing the odd right hand here and there to head, to body, to arms, whatever. Okay, that's going to be Joyce. Just keep marching forward, eaching a few shots on the way in. That's how it's going to be. Joseph Parker is going to be very, very fleet-footed. He's going to be dancing around the outside of the ring. Joyce is going to be chasing him. Once in a while, Parker's going to stand there and throw the odd combination, get out of reach. Come back in, throw the odd combination, get out of reach. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be Joyce chasing Joseph Parker. Now, what's going to be interesting about this fight is after the halfway point. Again, this is very, very obvious to say, but whoever has a healthy lead in the first half of the fight, the first 6 rounds, is probably going to win the fight. I don't see a stoppage happening. I don't see a knockout. Now, I could see scenarios of maybe one of them gets caught on the ropes and the referee steps in. I could see that. But I don't see a clean knockout. Both of them do have very good chins. Parker, of course, he has hit the canvas on, 3 occasions as a professional. Twice to Dillian Whyte, once to Derek Chisora. And yes, of course, there are arguable points, especially with the first knockdown with Dillian Whyte, clash of heads. Or, again, you can look at the Derek Chisora one in the first fight. Was it more of a flash knockdown, just caught him unawares? Still, he has a very good chin. And those who say he don't, because he's been chopped 3 times, okay, does Tyson Fury not have a good chin either? Joyce, never been hit to the canvas or anything like that. Yeah, very good chin. But as I've said time and time again, and I don't know why some people can't seem to get this through their head, is that having a good chin is not what wins you a fight. You don't win rounds by having a good chin. You lose rounds by having a good chin. Why? Because defensively, you're not going to be so aware. You're going to know if a shot comes through, I can take it. As much as it may hurt a little bit, it may even buzz you a little bit, I can take it. So therefore, you can end up losing the rounds. And this is what happens with Joyce. He was losing those rounds against Carlos Takam. He was getting huge shots landed on by Christian Hammer. But again, where Joyce is very vulnerable is the midriff. We're seeing Bryant Jennings hurt Joyce to the gut. Visibly hurt. Arguably, Bryant Jennings won that fight. Arguably. Okay? So this is a fight that's going to be going down to the wire. I think that it is going to be a points win for whoever wins. I don't see a stoppage happening. It can happen. Of course it can. As much as they both do have very good chins, no chin is unbreakable. No chin. I don't care who you are. You can get stopped. You can get buzzed. And you can get dropped. All right? And it doesn't always have to be on the chin either. It could be on the ear, on the back of the head, the stomach, however. Okay? So it's very difficult to pick a winner. Very, very difficult. Because both of these guys, they do lose rounds from time to time. But both of them are very good at collecting rounds as well. So it's very difficult to say who's going to win this fight. Now, if I was a betting man, which of course I'm not, then I would probably say that Joseph Parker in theory, should win this fight on points. In theory. Now, I'm a big Joseph Parker fan. I always have been. I'm a big Joe Joyce fan as well. Of course, Joe Joyce is the fellow Brit. So, of course, I have to lean toward him. I want him to win from a biased Brit perspective. But only just. With Parker, listen, I wouldn't be disappointed if Parker won. Not at all, because I said I'm a big fan of Parker. But it is going to be going down to the points. I don't see a knockout for either one of them. I really don't. I can see it but again, this is on a BT Sport show. This is a Queensbury show. Frank Warren show. Joe Joyce is a Queensbury fighter. Is he going to get home cooking? Possibly. Very possibly. But at the same time, you have to remember as well, are they going to dare screw over Joseph Parker? Would they dare do that? Tyson Fury is very, very good friends with Joseph Parker. Does Frank Warren really want to upset Tyson Fury? And have him going at him? Caught in robbery and all that kind of stuff? No, probably not. So I can see the judges and the referee being quite fair in this one. Hopefully the referee just lets these two just do what they're going to do. Don't interfere with the fight. That would be ideal. But anyway, my pick for this fight, and it is not a confident one, is going to be Joseph Parker on points. I think Joseph Parker, because of his experience, because of his speed, his foot speed, and the way that he can get in and out, he's used to fighting big guys, okay? So Joe Joyce isn't going to bring anything to him that he hasn't seen before. So I can see him just nicking the rounds. But for him to nick the rounds, he can't just win it by throwing the odd punch here and there. He's going to have to throw punches in bunches at times. At least 2 or 3 times in a round. He's going to have to do that to make sure he wins the round. Just throwing one jab and getting out of distance. Throwing another jab, getting out of distance. Throwing an arm shot, getting out of distance. That isn't going to win the rounds. Not against Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce, he's got the size, he's got the reach, he's got the strength to keep Parker off him. So it's up to him to pretty much just use his jab, much like he did with Daniel Dubois, and just jab him in the face. Jab him in the face. So that's all he's got to do. He probably doesn't even have to use the right hand. Why go looking for a knockout when you're probably not going to get it? As I said before, of course it can happen. Of course it can, but why make life difficult for yourself? Why go looking for something that may not happen, or probably won't happen? So I can see it being quite a strategic fight. I can see it being quite a boring fight at times as well. But at times it is going to be quite interesting. There's going to be some very excitable rounds. But I think Joseph Parker, listen, I've been wrong on quite a few occasions lately. So I'm trying to use my head on this one rather than emotion. But I think Joseph Parker might just nick this fight. I'm not going to say he's going to get the decision. I'm saying that I think for most people who watch that fight may just say, I think Joseph Parker won that fight. But there again, Parker, he does have a tendency at times to turn up and stick the place out, where people go, ain't no way he won that fight. No way. But again, you know what? They've got an opponent in common in Carlos Takam. Carlos Takam was doing very well against Joe Joyce. Did he get stopped too early? Yeah, you would say so. But at the same time, he has been over there in camp with Joe Joyce as well, along with Johnny Fisher and that as well. When Joseph Parker fought Carlos Takam, he beat him on points. It was a very excitable fight, I thought. I enjoyed it. I don't know if everybody did, but I did. Again, Parker, he's had people like Nick Campbell in camp, preparing for Joe Joyce, and Martin Piccoli and things like that. So anyway, listen, I'm looking forward to the fight. Who do you think is going to win? Do you think that there could well be a knockout? Me, personally, I don't see there being a knockout. I can certainly see potentially the referee stepping in, maybe prematurely. But a legitimate knockout, unlikely. But as I said before, anything can happen, especially in the heavyweight division. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.